It's about time now, so let's start with the proceedings. Hello and a very good evening, everyone. I'm Vaishnavi Thakur, a master's student in the University of Tokyo. So today I'm the facilitator in today's webinar, and I welcome you all. I'm joined by Ms. Sakshi Verma as today's sub-facilitator. So today's webinar is about studying and working in Japan. It aims to promote education in Japan by motivating students to pursue higher studies. The University of Tokyo India office is organizing these sessions where experts from different universities will be providing information and guidance on various programs which are being offered. So Japan has the third largest economy in the world. With a huge demand for skilled professionals, and not forgetting the fact that it has the highest employment rate among the other G7 nations. But still, we see that many students prefer Western countries over Japan. So we mainly believe that it is because of the lack of awareness of the wonderful opportunities Japan offers. And also there are many misconceptions regarding the Japanese language requirements, tuition fees, and living expenses, so on. So the aim of these webinars is to bridge that gap and provide answers to these questions. If you have any queries, please post them in the Q&A portal. We have a team of panelists and universities to answer them. I'll share the agenda for today's presentation. So we'll start today's with a brief overview of sessions by Ms. Sakshi, who is a program assistant at the University of Tokyo India office. And then we have presentations by representatives of 4 universities. The total time of universities is 20 minutes, which is followed by 5 minutes Q&A session. So without any further ado, let's begin today's webinar. I would like to invite Ms. Sakshi, the Assistant Manager of the University of Tokyo India office, to share her thoughts. Over to you, Ms. Sakshi.
Thank you, Ms. Vaishnavi. I just share the screen. I hope everyone can see my screen. So namaste everyone. My name is Sakshi Roy, and this program is hosted by the University of Tokyo India office and brought to you by MEX, the Ministry of Education, Culture, Sports, Science and Technology in Japan. So first of all, before giving you a brief information about this project and our office, I would like to extend my warm welcome to all our expert panel members from prestigious Japanese universities and our attendees from different parts of the world. So thank you very much for your time and for your support. All right, so we are the part of Study in Japan Global Network Project in Southwest Asia by MEX, and we provide comprehensive information on Japanese universities. We organize education fairs and seminars throughout India to spread awareness about higher education opportunities in Japan. And about the webinar, today we are here for session 9 of Study and Work in Japan webinar series. And all these webinars is basically designed to introduce you to some of the best Japanese universities. We'll be discussing the various program offerings and opportunities to study and work in Japan in our online session. So today we are joined by representatives of 3 different Japanese universities, and all the universities will be discussing about English-based programs and scholarship opportunities that are offered by them. So there has been approximately 700 plus universities as well as specialized vocational institutions in Japan. And I must tell you that studying abroad in Japan means you'll further your study in a well-rounded education system. You'll experience a unique new culture and you have a chance to gain more international perspective. However, I know it would be difficult to understand everything in such a short period of time, in 20 minutes, each university. But I would recommend you all to please note down the contact addresses of each university so that in case if you have further doubts, please feel free to ask them directly later on by writing them. So this is the email address of our office. In case if you have any questions, please feel free to contact us. I'll also share this email in the chat box for reference. Yeah, thank you very much for your attention. I request you all to please stay tuned with us till the end of the session. And please don't forget to register for our upcoming webinar next week on Tuesday. We have a lot in store for you, so please register yourself for all our upcoming sessions. And I hope it will help you to achieve your dreams of studying and working abroad in Japan. So thank you very much once again. Over to you, Ms. Vaishnavi.
Thank you, Sakshi-san, for the introduction. So let me share the agenda slide. So yes, let's proceed with the university presentations now. First, we'll have the University of Aizu. It's the first university in Japan specializing in computer science and engineering. At the university, students begin intensely studying programming languages as soon as they join the university. So it is based on the hope that students will quickly learn about many facets of programming so that they can apply their knowledge to a broad range of fields. To provide more details about the university, we have Ms. Zoe from the Center of Globalization and Office for Planning and Management to provide the guidelines for the admission process. You can start your presentation, Ms. Zoe.
Okay, thank you very much. Let me share my screen. Okay, good afternoon, everyone. I'm Joe from the University of Aizu. I'm very glad to meet you in this fair to introduce our university. So the university's name is the University of Aizu. Aizu is the city's name. And our university is one of the top global universities in Japan. So in Japan, only 37 universities were selected by this project by Japanese government. So I will introduce our university from the slides below. Okay, before talking about our university, I would like to introduce the universities in Japan. In Japan, there are around 800 universities in total. And there are three types: national university, public university, and private universities. So the University of Aizu is one of the public universities in Japan, which is founded and supported by local government. Then why study in Japan? I think Ms. Vaishnavi have introduced this Japan very well, so I will skip this page. Then why study computer science? Because this computer science, also computer science technologies, has a connection with everything of our we do. And for example, our home appliances and our smartphone, our cars. And you know, in this year's global talent shortage ranking, the IT and data science technology have largest talent shortage. It is the first position. And you know, by 2030, there are around 800,000 IT talent shortage in Japan. So this means if you learn this major or have this knowledge of computer science, then it's very easier to find a job in the world with a higher salary, and also we have more choices because currently every field needs the technology of computer science. Then why study in the University of Aizu? We are a public university in Japan established in 1993, dedicated to computer science and engineering. So from the start, this university is very unique because 40% of our faculty members are foreign nationals from many different countries. So it's bilingual on campus, and the students can get support, can get support and receive the education entirely in English. So our goal is to foster experts in computer science and engineering who are able to be active in the world. Okay, I will highlight 4 features about our university. So first one, we are located in very safe place and with very interesting culture, traditional culture. And the second one is we have advanced education and research. And third one is we have a global environment. And the final one is we are a cost-effective university. So this university is located in Aizu, Wakamatsu City, with the very splendid nature. So you can see the spring, the sakura in spring, and also we have the 4th largest lake in Japan. And in fall, there is a very beautiful leaves. And now in winter, you can enjoy ski. So we also have the lecture of the ski. So you can enjoy the ski in winter and enjoy snow playing. And we have a delicious food, especially rice and osake is wine, Japanese wine. And we have many traditional festivals and events. So you can experience the traditional culture, Japanese culture here. And second one, I would like to introduce advanced. Although we are a young university, we are well ranked. So from the Times Higher Education ranking or the university ranking, we ranked 19th in Japan among 2,073 Japanese universities attending this ranking. And in computer science field, we're ranked 7th in Japan and 3,000 to 4,000 in the world. So we have many advanced fields related to computer science, like environment, software programming, space, and system design, robotics, AI, biomedical, arts, network, and so on. So you can choose any fields we are interested in to learn. And our curriculum follows the international standard. This is the CC 2020. And we have 5 fields: computer science, computer systems, computer network systems, applied information technologies, software engineering. So in the first and second year, you will learn some fundamental courses like mathematics, physics, some programming language. And from third year, you can choose a lab to start your research under a supervisor. That means you can find a supervisor to do research with your professor, with a professor and some senior students with a team. And after graduation, you can find a job or enter the master's program. This 2 years master program, and you have to take 1 year's courses education, and during the 2 years you have to complete research with your supervisor. And after this master's program, you can find a job or enter a doctoral program. Also, we have a special program that is named the honors program. That means you can finish you can get a master's degree in 5 years instead of a general 6 years. There are 2 types. It's 4+1 means finish the undergraduate education in 4 years, and 1+1 year master's program to get a master's degree. Another one is 3+2. That means 3 years undergraduate education and 2 years master's graduation. That you can shorten your education to get a degree. Also, you can take a special honors year to go abroad for study or to do internship. And the second one about is environment. We have more than 3,000 computer terminals on campus, and that means maybe a student can use 3 computers. And we have a variety of computer operation systems in education, macOS or Windows or Unix. And we have the 6 big access rooms, and some of them are available 24 hours, 7 days. So anytime you can enter this access room to do your homework, to do any development. Also, the student faculty ratio at this university is less than 10:1. It's much lower than the average of other Japanese universities. That is 20:1. That means students have more opportunities to get support in study and in life from our professors. And this we have about this research. We have many cutting-edge researchers, and the space and robotics are the two biggest research topics. We have also the center, like space center, robotics center, and AI center to do research. We have more than 100 professors and more than 120 research projects. So students can choose any topic to do the research and to pursue their master's degree or doctor's degree. So our research related to many fields like biomedical information, motion capture, LT, big data, environment, and so on. Besides these normal classes, we have also some extra classes program like a venture startup factory to help students to start up their own business. And we have a programming competition team. Our professor will help students to attend international programming competition. We have get very good achievement in the international competitions. Also, we have more than 30 class projects. Students can join this project from their first year, from freshman. And those projects are very interesting, related to, for example, music, art, in robotics, and so on. And the third one talk about the global environment. We provide an English media education. The lectures and research instruction are conducted entirely in English. So you don't need to submit any Japanese proficiency for admission application. Also, not only international students, but Japanese students need to complete their thesis in English and make the final presentation in English. So international students, if you would like to work in Japan after graduation, Japanese language is very important. So we have this Japanese language education from beginner level to business level. Also, our teacher will help you to find a job after graduation. They will provide many information of these IT companies. And third one is, although we are a small university, but we have had collaborations with more than 100 universities and institutes in 26 countries and areas. So we have some special programs like transfer program. That means others overseas university students can transfer to our university, and a dual degree program, a master's 1+1 program, and global 3+2. That means 3 years undergraduate education in the home university, and just 2 years education at the University of Idaho. Okay, this is the details about these programs. Also, other programs like internships. So our students have many opportunities to do internships in local companies and overseas companies. So these photos show the students visited Silicon Valley every year and with some famous company in Silicon Valley. And also our international students always organize some international activities to introduce their country's cultures, and like some other activities like hiking, like barbecue, and some community activities with the local Japanese citizens. And about the final one about the cost effective, because we are a public university, so the tuition fee is much cheaper than some universities. So this tuition is less than $4,000 a year, and the living expense also cheap, is maybe $5,000 a year is enough, but it also depends on the personal expenses. Also, we have some scholarship application opportunities, like master scholarship. It's a kind of Japanese government scholarship, Uniyama scholarship, Saisa scholarship, and so on. And other support like class mentor systems, That's meaning the first and second year, our faculty members will become your class mentor to support you. And also we have buddy program. Japanese students will become your buddy to help you if you have something you don't want to talk to your professor. And about career support, so you can see since this establishment of our university, our employment rate is very high, so near the 100%. This is a on-campus facilities. We have on-campus dormitory, cafeteria, gym rooms, swimming pool, and some of them are available 24 hours. So you can enjoy the exercises, the body exercises after hard study. And about this application, this is for undergraduate program. The application period is January to February, and the enrollment date is October 1st. And students need to prepare application form, and it can be downloaded from our website. And the English proficiency, like TOEFL, IELTS, TOEIC. But if you have received at least 3 years English media education, then you don't need to submit any English proficiency. And other certificate of academic score like ACT, IB, A-level, EJU, AP. Also India, CBSE and CBSE's examination or other class 12 examination is also available. And others like statement of financial support, passport copy, and also some document needed to issued by your school, like your school transcript, your certificate of expected graduation, also under at least one letter of recommendation. So you can find the details from our application guide from this barcode. And you also can send email to this SGU admission. We will reply you as soon as possible. This is for undergraduate school. And this is for graduate school. There are 2 seasons for admission, April and October. For master's program, the application period is September and April. And for doctoral program, the application period is June and December. So you also need to prepare some document like English proficiency, certificate of graduation, and your transcript, and so on. So before application this graduate program, you have to contact a professor first. So please find our professor's information from our website. Also, you can scan the barcode from this page. Okay, thank you very much. If you have any question, please feel free to ask.
Thank you, Ms. Zoe, for the wonderful presentation. It was really very comprehensive, and the main attractive point is that the university is whole for this computer science and engineering. So that is very impressive. And also, we can proceed with the Q&A session. So would you like me to pick some questions?
Okay.
Okay. So a student wants to know what is the IB score requirement?
So yes, IB, we need this IB science high level, mathematics high level, and science high level. Science could be physics, biology, or chemistry.
Yes. So is there any cutoff score for that?
There's no cutoff at the application stage.
Okay. Thank you. So, and the next question is, when can we start applying this year? So, which is already covered in the presentation slides. So, for the undergraduate and graduate programs, the application process has already started. So, please check with the admissions team. And is there any entrance exam for the undergrad courses?
There is no entrance examination. There's a screening is conducted based on their documents.
Okay, great, thank you. And also, there's a question about the like, can you please elaborate on the startup factories mentioned in the presentation?
Excuse me?
Can you please elaborate on the startup factories, which was mentioned in the presentation?
Startup factories?
Yes.
Startup factories.
I think it was mentioned that students after their graduation, they can either go for job hunting, and also they can even make their projects into startups, for which university will be funding and will provide assistance. So I think it was covering about those aspects.
Okay, thank you very much.
Anyway, we can proceed to the next question. So other than computer science engineering, are there any programs in the other departments like electrical engineering or physics?
No, we have only one school, one department about computer science and engineering.
Okay, yes, I understand that the university is very specialized in the computer science and engineering. And the next question is, so about the job hunting assistance. So what kind of assistance does the university provide for job hunting?
Yes, we will provide a Japanese education to the students and do some interview training to the students, and also provide some information about this from some companies to the students.
Okay. Yes, thank you. And there's another question about a SAT exam. So is SAT exam required?
Start time request?
SAT exam.
A SAT? Yes, we need a SAT subject test scores. However, unfortunately, this test has been dropped. So I think students can take AP, can take AP scores to apply for this university.
Yes, thank you. And let me look into a few questions. So what suggestion would you give to students in order to get acceptance from the university?
Excuse me?
What suggestion would you give to the students to get an acceptance from the university?
Suggestions. So please study hard in your mathematics and science and English. Then you will have high opportunities to get enrolled.
Yes. And let me look at next question. I think almost all of the questions are covered, and because the presentation was really well comprehensive and well prepared. So thank you very much for joining us today in the webinar. So being the young university, it has University of Idaho has raised into higher ranks in the Times Higher Education. So I recommend every student who is interested in computer science and engineering to look into the university and apply, because the admissions are in progress. So with this, we can end with the University of Idaho. Thank you, Ms. Zoe, for joining us today.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Let me share the agenda slide. So next we have Kyushu University. So I did not specially mention about Kyushu University because it is one of the top leading national universities in Japan. Today, Kyushu University will be covering details about the international graduate and undergraduate programs in the School of Engineering. So to provide more details about the university, I invite Professor Kono from the Department of Mechanical Engineering and Associate Professor Ms. Tamura to provide the guidelines of the university. We are also joined by a student, Mr. Joshua, who is currently a mechanical engineering student at the university. You can share your screen, Professor.
Okay, do you see my slide?
Yes, we can.
Okay, thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Masamichi Kono from the School of Engineering, the Kyushu University. So welcome to our session. Okay, this is the contents of today's talk. And first, let me introduce Fukuoka cities and Kyushu University briefly. And after that, I'd like to talk about the graduate school of engineering and international undergraduate programs in English. And as first topic, I'd like to invite our graduate student to talk for the presentation. And finally, Professor Tamura talks about application and the scholarships. Okay, this slide shows the location of Fukuoka and Kyushu universities. Fukuoka is in the southern parts of Japan, and Fukuoka is located in the northernmost parts of Kyushu Island. So, as you can see in the figures, the Fukuoka is located here, and it's very close to the Asian country. So we can say that Fukuoka is the gateway to Asia in Japan. Okay, Fukuoka is often introduced as one of the world's most livable cities. Fukuoka is an energetic city and the center of the core city of politics, economies, culture, and fashion in Kyushu area. Okay, for example, Fukuoka is introduced the most desirable city to live in Japan. For example, population growth rate is the first, and rate of young population ages is the first. Fukuoka is an extremely compact and well-organized city, well placed to live and work, and as well as a place of entertainment and leisure, and both temporary and geographically is close proximities. This is city and this is the countryside, and it's not so far. So let me introduce about the history of our universities. So Kyushu Imperial University was established as the fourth Imperial University of Japan, and the College of Medicine and College of Engineering were founded in 1911. And in 2011, the university celebrated its centennial. This is the photo of the Ito campus. Kyushu University has several campuses, but if you join the School of Engineering, you are going to learn in the Ito campus. Kyushu University is one of the premier national 7 universities and distinguishes themselves as the most prestigious universities. And Kyushu University is a member of RU11, that is a consortium consisting of the top 11 Japanese research universities. And its membership shows that the university is highly active in research, not only in Japan, but also internationally. Okay, let me introduce some of the prominent alumni. He is Dr. Koichi Wakata, and he is the first Asian ISS, International Space Station Commander. He is Kosuke Morita. He is the leader of research group who discovered the new atomic element 11113. And he is Robert Han, and he is a successful entrepreneur suited in the Silicon Valley. So in Kyushu universities, you can conduct this kind of the world level researches. For example, carbon neutral or fuel cell research, or this kind of the material research. Okay. As I mentioned in the previous slide, we are focusing on hydrogen energy. In Ito campus, we have many research facilities, such as the fuel cell lab and the hydrogen station, and so on. So if you are interested in the hydrogen energy, we are confident that Kyushu University is one of the best institutes. Kyushu University is also world leader in the field of organic EL. EL means electroluminescence. Recently, the research field of the organic optoelectronic devices has attracted much attention owing to the commercialization of the organic light emitted diode, that is the OLED. We are also conducting a distinctive research in the field of the human cares and the biomechanics, like this one, like this slide. And not only that kind of the study, if you join the Kyushu University, you can work with this kind of the research facilities, such as the ultra high voltage microscopy or supercomputers. So in School of Engineering, we have 11 international masters and doctor programs. So for details, please join to the visit to our homepage. Okay. As a part of the globalization of universities, international undergraduate programs were set up. In international undergraduate programs, or we call it IUPE, all classes are taught in English. But of course, if you want to learn Japanese, you can also learn Japanese. And in my universities, there are 5 international undergraduate programs. 4 is the engineering programs, and 1 is the bioresource and bioenvironment program. So today, I'm going to talk about the 4 engineering programs. So in engineering, so we have electrical engineering and computer science, applied chemistry, civil engineering, and mechanical and aerospace engineering. Okay. This slide shows about the academic structures. So IUPE is a 4 years bachelor programs. So first 1 year is the general education period called Kikan education. Students mainly study liberal arts and language and science core subject like this. And after this Kikan education, students start taking specialized education. And finally, in the 4th year, you can conduct a graduation project. Okay, so I'd like to introduce about our 4 courses. The first one is electrical engineering and computer science. Okay? So in this course, you learn this kind of circuit theory, electric energy and energy integral circuit, and we are going to conduct the project. For example, is informatics and information technologies. And in applied chemistry, so of course you can learn this kind of the basic chemistry, such as organic chemistry or even inorganic chemistries. And in the research, you can research for yourself, cosmetics, drug laboratory, and also for the developing the materials. This is about civil engineering. So this is the example of classes offered. For example, the earthquake engineering and disaster prevention. And in research, so for example, this is the traffic flow simulation, numerical simulation of tsunami, and so on. Like this. And finally, this is the mechanical and aerospace engineering. So this is the example class offered. This is a very basic subject for mechanical engineering and aerospace engineering. And the for project, you can learn this kind of the windmills or the energy-related materials, and also this kind of the satellite. This is all for me. So I'd like to switch to the Mr. Joshua. So Joshua, can please start your presentation.
Okay. Hello, everyone. My name is Joshua, and I'm a student with Kyushu University right now. And today I'd just like to talk a little bit about my experience studying and living there. So a little bit about me. I'm a fourth-year undergraduate student at Kyushu University, majoring in mechanical and aerospace engineering. And I have a deep interest in hydrogen fuel cells, which Kono-sensei mentioned earlier. And this is going to come up later, so I'll elaborate a little bit more on this afterwards. I was born in India and I was raised in India. I went to school here my whole life, most of which was in Noida. And I feel very lucky to have gotten the opportunity to have such an international education at Kyushu University. So first of all, I'd like to talk about sort of why I chose Kyushu University and why I think Kyushu University is a good choice in general. For one, I was looking for a proper like hard science engineering course, which Kyushu University is one of the few universities that offers such a course in English, which was again a prerequisite for me since at the time I spoke almost no Japanese. So Kyushu University checked both those boxes for me, and that really put it on my radar. And plus, if you, as we mentioned earlier, Kyushu University is also a very high-ranking university, so that also adds kind of bonus points for me. And then this is technically not very important to most people, I feel like, but it's important to me, so I feel like I talk about it. The dormitories are really nice. I really like the rooms there, and that's I mean, if you're gonna be spending your whole like a full 4 years there, I feel like you should at least want it to be a nice place to live in. And the dorms are, like, as you can see, this is actually my room. It kind of looks almost like a small little hotel room, and they're all very close to campus and very affordable. So yeah, that was another great plus point for me. Another really big, really important point, of course, was the scholarships and the student support. For one, Kyushu University, since it's a publicly funded university, it's already a lot cheaper than most private universities. And that I think in terms of tuition fee, it's almost comparable to a lot of Indian universities even. And then on top of that, they have very generous financial aid. I mean, I didn't even apply for financial aid when I didn't apply for any scholarships when I was joining, and they still told me like, oh, you qualify for these scholarships, you can receive these grants. And it's really been a great help for me and my family, especially since I have a younger brother who also wants to go to college. So it's been very very great. Plus, the student support center is of course very helpful. They help a lot with when I landed in Japan, taking care of the initial setup and settling in, setting up bank accounts, and then even after that, sort of day-to-day things like paying rent and sorting out bills. So they've just been very helpful. And even during classes, like every semester, we have a meeting with all of the advisors for our group to kind of check in on us, see how we're doing, see how the classes are going, if we have any feedback. So that's something I feel that, it made me feel like my opinion was very valued. And I think it's something that's really great. And then, as I mentioned earlier, we have a great research program. So as Kono-sensei mentioned earlier, Kyushu University is one of the leading universities in Asia and even the world in hydrogen research, which was one of my key interests. And this is kind of the experimental setup for some of the experiments I've been doing the past half a year or so in between classes. So from your third year onwards, from the second half of your third year onwards, you join a lab. For me, I've joined the Hydrogen Utilization Processes Lab, which is basically just working on hydrogen fuel cells. And from the fourth year onwards, which is from this October, I'll be kind of getting into more comprehensive research. And this is kind of my lab, what I've been working on. My research specializes in sort of removing platinum group metals from hydrogen fuel cell catalysts because they're expensive and hard to get. So we're trying to replace them with other materials. So that's basically what my research focuses on. And then outside of academics, outside of class, of course, Fukuoka is a great place to live in. I feel, food is very nice. And these are some pictures I took. The left is like during Sakura season. And there's all sorts of like community events and, things like on the right, that's a festival. We went to like a firework festival. This was during my first year, which is why no one's wearing masks. But yeah, it's a lot of fun. There's always things to do, whenever you're looking to do something. And then there's some of my hobbies, like plenty of things to do in the city area. If you like, Japanese anime stuff, there's plenty of that. And I can't recommend this enough, but karaoke is really fun. I thought I wouldn't like it at first, but I just, now whenever I have free time, I'm always going with my friends. And it's, yeah, if you have a chance, I definitely recommend you try it. But yeah, that's all for me. So thanks for listening. And please share any questions you might have in the Q&A session. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Joshua. So hello, everyone. My name is Mika Tamura, and I'm coordinator for International Undergraduate Program in English at the School of Engineering. So from here, I'd like to explain how to apply and also scholarship opportunities for undergraduate students. All right, so this is admissions schedule of International Undergraduate Program in English. So our admission period will start, application period will start in January. So between January, 4th and 17th, and please submit the necessary document. I will talk about it later. And so based on the submitted document, we will conduct the preliminary screening, and we will announce the result on February 16th on our website. And if you successfully pass the first screening, you'll be called to take an interview. You don't have to come to Fukuoka in Japan. You can sit for an exam from your home. It's going to be online interview, and it will be conducted between late February and early March. And we will announce the result on March 26th. And for more detail, I'd like you to check the application instruction carefully. But then, so this is the two important phases, and our university will start in October. So here's a list of necessary documents. This is a brief one, so I'd like you to check the application instruction. I will share the link later. Application form has 2 essays, and I'd like you to write why you're interested in studying Kyushu University and why you want to study in the selected major. For example, electrical engineering, computer science, or mechanical and aerospace engineering. We have 4 courses. Then please submit official high school transcripts and graduation certificate. So transcript could be the latest one if you have not graduated yet. And also graduation certificate could be expected one from your high school. And score report of a standardized test. Later I will share some information, but then each course has different standard. So I'd like to check the minimum score and which test you need to take. And English proficiency test for applying for engineering program. So TOEFL 80 and IELTS 6.5 is minimum score for application. But yeah, most of our students have a higher score, but then because you're an Indian student, you don't have to worry about it. And if you are educated only in English for more than 4 years, you can ask your school to issue the certificate of medium of instruction in English. All right, so this is the information of enrollment fee and tuition fee. As Joshua already mentioned that we are national university, so tuition fee is quite low. And then also annual tuition fee, it's this amount for 1 year, but our university is now 50% waivers to the new student enrolling in IUP program. So it is 30 students, it means everybody, right? Then there are 3 scholarship opportunities. One is MEC scholarship. Actually, so Kyushu University is selected by Japanese government. So we can select the candidate of this scholarship. So it's full scholarship and you don't have to pay anything to our university. then you can receive this amount of monthly allowance for 4 years. You can also receive round-trip air tickets to come to Japan and go back to India. It's pretty good. Then you don't have to take additional tests. So because we select the candidate from the top student of our programs. Then Kyushu University, if you are not selected by MEC scholarship, there's still another opportunity, Kyushu University IUP scholarship. So this is 60,000 yen per month and it's for 1 year. But if you study hard, then you can continue to receive it. And there's actually another opportunity to receive MEC scholarship for half a year or 1 year. Then if you're doing very well, okay. Then last one is from JASO. It's 48,000 yen a month, but then yeah, some students are receiving this scholarship each year, right? Joshua already mentioned like the dormitory fee is quite like affordable. It's about 20,000 yen a month. It's pretty good, isn't it? Then it's very new. Okay, then yeah, that's all from me. Let me share application instruction because I got the questions on our website on there. Just a minute. So it was about like what is a standardized test score for? Okay, I thought that I should explain a little bit about it. Okay, so this is one page from the application instructions. And this page talks about the minimum score for application. For example, to apply for electrical engineering computer science, so this is the list of the tests you can take. And basically, you need to score mathematics and physics or only mathematics. And for example, if you're applying with Ivy, you can submit a score of mathematics, analysis and approaches high school level and physics high school level, or computer science. And it said like minimum score is a combination of 5 and 5, but this is, just for application. It does not mean that you will pass fast screening. I'm sorry. Please try to get actually like a high score, like 7 and 7 or 7 and 6. I don't know. Each year, the passing grade is different. So to apply for SAT, it's a mathematics 710, but then to be honest, you need a higher score, like close to perfect score. So I'd like you to check the minimum score but try to get a better score when you apply for universities. All right. So that's all from me.
Thank you, Professor, for the presentation. Is there anything else to be presented from the Kyushu University? Okay, maybe if Kyushu, we can proceed with the Q&A round now. So,
okay, thank you.
Yes. So one question is about are there any dormitories which are available on campus?
Yes, it is on campus and also near campus, like about 10 minutes on foot.
Okay, so can students live there as long as they finish their program, or are there any restrictions like students can live only for 1 year?
Our university student can stay there just for half a year, but our students can stay there for 1 year. Then they can find their own accommodation near our campus.
Okay. Great, thank you. And also, there's a question about there's like a student who is doing his 12th standard. So what are the major subjects which will be looked at CBSE for CBSE students?
CBSE students?
Yes. So what subjects should they focus on?
Okay, so we have 4 programs and each program has different focus.
Okay. Yes, so I think based on your interest, you can focus on those subjects and apply into that program. And maybe, I'm sorry. So I think there is some problem with Professor Tamura. Maybe we can proceed with Mr. Joshua. Can I ask some questions to you?
Yes, sure.
So are there any extracurricular activities which a student can engage in the university?
Yes, so there's a lot of facilities for things that anything that you want. You just have to enroll yourself and they'll let you do whatever you want. Like for instance, there's a tennis court, there's a football field, there's like a badminton court. You can always rent the facilities whenever you want. And if you're part of a club, they'll have regularly scheduled like club activities and things like that. But they're all like student run pretty much.
Okay, great, thank you. And there are some more questions for the Kyushu University. So Professor Kono, would you like to answer a few? Yes, okay. So are there any entrance exams for undergraduate and graduate programs? For undergraduate, I believe there are no entrance exams, but what about graduate programs?
Yeah, but I think there's interviews for you.
Only interviews, so there's no entrance exam.
Okay, but we need to please check about the application forms.
Yes, so most of the guidelines will be provided on the website and on each individual department, so students can check that. And usually, how long does it take for the application process? I mean, from the start of the application process till the student gets accepted. So how long does it take?
Okay, so the maybe the announcement of the admission is the sorry. I think the Professor Tamura showed some of this slide. Tamura Sensei, could you show the process of the from the submission to the final about the screening process?
Yes, I think Tamura-san has just joined now.
I'm very sorry, there was something wrong with my computer.
No problem. So there is a question about how long does the university admission process take?
Oh, it start from January 1st, early January, and finishes, I think, in the middle, maybe like a late March, but we still have like a waiting list actually if you did not pass. So, well, if you are selected, it's like in March, but it might take a little bit long. Like if you did not pass the secondary screening, then if you are on waiting list.
Yes, okay. Thank you, Professor. And also there are quite a few questions on this topic. So usually it seems the CBSE results are out in July 2023. So
okay,
what?
So we are not looking at actually well, like we recognize like CBSE, it's a really important test for Indian students, but we are looking at the standardized test from like the world. And for example, so SAT or ACT or IB or A level. So I'd like you to take one of the standardized tests.
Okay, thank you, Professor. And also there's a question if a student can directly enroll in the second year, like can he shift universities from after first year?
I'm sorry, like they need to enter from the first year.
First year, okay, thank you. And so what is the IB score requirement for studying computer science and aerospace in Kyushu?
I already mentioned in my presentation, but so minimum score say like a combination of 5 and 5, but obviously like you need a higher score to pass the pass screening. But I cannot say like exactly, what is the passing rate, but like our applicants had really like a good score of mathematics and physics or chemistry.
Yes, thank you, Professor. And we can have one last question. So are there any integrated programs like MSc and PhD programs?
Of physics, it is said, right? So
yes.
I think if you really focusing on physics, I think it is for the Graduate School of Sciences, I think, if I'm correct. Is it correct? But then if you're interested in mechanical engineering, then you can apply for like a graduate school, but it's 2 years master's and 3 years PhD.
Okay. So yes, I think that answers the question. Thank you so much, Professor, for actively answering the questions and for introducing Kyushu University to the students. I hope students are motivated to join the university.
Yes, yeah, each year we have wonderful students like from India, like Joshua. So we welcome applicants from India.
Yes, it's happy to hear that you are very happy with Joshua. So yes, thank you very much for joining us today and for also letting Joshua share his student experience. So we can end the university presentation here. We'll proceed with the next university. Let me share the agenda slide. So next we have NUCB Undergraduate School. So NUCB is also known as the Nagoya University of Commerce and Business. It is a Japanese private university. And for more than 80 years, NUCB has led the way as a premier educational institute. So this is a brief introduction about the school. So to give more details and the application process for the admission, so I invite Mr. Freddie Mason, the Assistant Director of Admissions, to guide through the process.
Thank you very much for your wonderful introduction. Greetings from Japan. I'm going to focus the presentation today on the undergraduate school. I know there may be some that are interested in the MBA. I can certainly try and answer some questions if you have them at the end, and I can try and put some links together if you are interested to do your postgraduate studies with us. A little bit of background of who we are. So as the introduction stated, we're a private institute, originally starting in the 30s. We became an undergraduate school in 1953. You can also see that we have a high school. Starting this year, we have a brand new boarding school, okay, also teaching the IB diploma. And as I mentioned, yes, we have the NUCB Business School, which is the Graduate School of Management offering the MBA program. But at the undergraduate level, we focus on 3 types of degrees, which is a BBA, BSc, and a BA. But for those that would like to study entirely in English, we offer the Global BBA. I know the BBA is quite well known in India, so thankfully I don't have to give too much of an introduction, but we're the only school in Japan that offers that global BBA. In terms of our accreditation, we became the 111th school in the world to be triple accredited. Actually, the only school in Japan that has all 3, AACSB, AMBER, and EQUIS. They all come from different backgrounds, different destinations, US, UK, Europe, and they all focus on something a little bit different, but in short, you can see that the quality of education is assured because it's externally assessed. And you can see that they set very high standards for university, so we call it world standard education. And then those that perhaps are considering whether to stay in Japan for graduation or not, it means that your degree is world recognized. You can see here on the domestic market who has the accreditations. In 2021, we finally got EQUIS, so we can say that we have the triple crown of accreditation. The graduate school is also well known, #1 QS, top 16, top 18 Asia Pacific as well, Financial Times there. And one of the pillars that the accreditation bodies look for certainly is faculty. And we're very proud to say that over 70% of our faculty have PhD. You can also see a very high rating of practitioners, over 50%, which means those that have worked for some very high level companies in senior positions or have started actually their own business. And you can also see the quality of education here, Harvard, Stanford, Oxford, etc. You can find the full faculty profiles on our website. So today's presentation, we've got different locations, I think all throughout Japan. We are located centrally in Aichi Prefecture, home of Toyota. So you may have heard of them. For students, we offer, a medium-sized city. It's actually the 4th largest within Japan. It's a little bit cheaper to live than some of the bigger cities. Students love the fact that they can jump on the famous bullet train, be in Kyoto, Osaka, less than 1 hour. We also have one of the world's top 10 airports, so international travel is also very straightforward. This is our main campus at the undergraduate level in Nishin. It's 1.5 times the size of Tokyo Disneyland. That should give you a bit of an aspect of its size. We call it an all-in-one campus, so everything is on that one site, including library, dining facilities. Obviously, your classrooms will take place here. You can see wonderful sporting facilities as well. Just to give you a quick snapshot of some of our facilities, you can see we're very modern. Most specifically, you can see the classroom in the top middle, which is built in a very specific way. And I'll talk a little bit about that later. We love architecture. You can also see the school bus there that will take students to the dormitories or the local train stations. Lots of clubs on offer for students. We highly recommend students to take that on campus. We help students facilitate that, ranging from typical sports like baseball, but we have, soccer, we have American football, we have dance clubs, culture clubs, music clubs. So you'll also see the way that our schedule is built, that we really, really encourage that for our students. As of fall of 2022, we have 55 different nationalities on campus, 273 international students. So very diverse, number one from Times Higher for the central region of Japan for our diversity. And actually Indian students are our number one in terms of nationality. And you can see just a handful of our students here that I picked up today, whether they've applied from Japan, from India, or even the UAE as well. The Global BBA, like I mentioned, it's a degree taught entirely in English, so no Japanese requirement pre or post entrance. The curriculum is fixed. So the idea is for you to study all of the important components that make a business successful. You can see here marketing and management and finance, etc. There's a chance to specialize in your fourth year in one of our specialized streams, or you can actually combine within those streams. And then on the right-hand side, you can see from year 1 to year 4, there's a lot of opportunity. So the white blocks are optional, whether you want to do an exchange or a double degree as well. So the way that we teach is called the case study method that originates from Harvard. So I showed you the picture of the classroom, and it's built specifically for interaction. So we use cases, so practical learning for students, where they can learn from a company's past to see what they did, what they should have done. But more importantly, we ask the students to put themselves in that role of the decision maker. So we build your leadership capabilities, your communication skills, your critical thinking through this style of education. There are no lectures at NUCB, so a lot of the onus is on the students to do individual preparation, come to the class, build on their ideas, and then in the larger group setting, average class size around 40 students, talk about their ideas, where a lot of the discussions will take place directed from faculty. So actually most of the talking is done by the students. Faculty will lead the students into what the learning outcomes should be from that case study, and then students have the chance for individual reflection as well. So because there's no lectures, actually there's no final exams at NUCB. A lot of the weighting will come through things such as participation, group work, projects, report writing, which are much more beneficial for a business school student. Our schedule, like I mentioned, really enhances that chance for students to take on extracurricular activities, 5 classes per week, most of the time, Monday to Friday, 1 class per day. That 1 class lasts for 200 minutes. You can see we build Japanese language into the curriculum for those that want to study all the way through to advanced level. And our winter break is quite unique, that it's from January to April. The curriculum of NUCB, like I mentioned, is fixed. So you can find that on the NUCB website, and I'll put some links together before we finish up. But just so you can see all of the kinds of courses that you're going to be studying here, as well as the beginning in year 3 of your case writing. So instead of a thesis, you're required to write your own case study. Lots of opportunities off campus, learning about Japanese culture, volunteering, for example. And then those that perhaps want to spend some time in a few different countries, we can help make that happen. We have 120 partner schools at the moment. We pay up to 150,000 yen for your flights, and there is no extra tuition. Again, the full list of partners is on the website, but just picking up some of the top schools here. You can see Bocconi in Italy, Erasmus in the Netherlands, Lancaster in the UK, from very good schools in mainland China and Hong Kong here as well. So you can actually do 2 different exchange partners and NUCB and graduate within your 4 years, or you could do the double degree. We have 7 schools at the moment, so finishing your degree in France, Ireland, or Taiwan. Success rate of employment of NUCB is just over 98%. We have a fantastic careers office on campus, English-speaking staff. We have a lot of activities from year 1 to year 4 for the students, resume writing, interview techniques, companies on campus, going to the career fairs as well. So in terms of tuition, the total is 4.5 million. It's about 33,000 USD. It's paid in 2 installments per year. And actually this includes your case studies, which we purchase on your behalf. So no requirement for, stationary budget really, because that's within the tuition fee. We estimate a yearly living cost of around $7,500 US here. But again, each student is a little bit different, but just an idea for budgeting. We offer the dormitories. We have over 600 rooms available, single, furnished, and like most universities, actually, they're very affordable. And we also offer scholarships for the students. Just an idea of location and costs. You can see some here that are close to campus, within walking distance or by the bus. Average rent, including the monthly scholarship available. So yes, very affordable for living in this part of Japan. We also have the opportunity at our boarding school for the university students to stay. We call this a mentorship position. So we provide free rent, and the students just have to look after the high school students a few hours per day, help them with their studies, their daily lives in a brand new facility. So that's also a nice place to stay on campus. In terms of application, everything is online. All nationalities are welcome to apply, also regardless of visa status, if you have anything in Japan. English proficiency, we accept a number of tests. Again, on the NUCB website, there's actually a 2-page document of everything that we require, including a waiver. So if you do not want to take a test and you've been studying in English-speaking high school, you can ask your high school to waive that for you. We have a requirement from Japan, which is your education history. So 12 years equivalent from your elementary primary school all the way to your senior high school. And then you can apply in your final year. Deadlines are rolling, and I'll show you that in a second. Everything is online. And then if you are accepted, and then if you want to take the offer, please send your originals in the post to us. Requirements, you can see the application guide on the download section of our website. There are 3 essays to write. One is about why us. The second is about a leadership position that you've taken up in the past. And then the third is about someone that you admire in terms of their characteristics of leading a business, etc. There will be interview and exam, no requirement to come to Japan. The interview is with 2 professors. It lasts around 15 to 20 minutes long. It's what we call an explorational interview. So we're not asking economics theories. We're actually asking, why have you chosen us? What are your future plans? We want to get across your communication skills and actually see the research that you've done on our university, most specifically for that case study method. We are holistic in nature, so that means that we're looking for the best fit for the case method. So there are no prerequisites from your high school, whether you're taking CBSE. Obviously, most students take the commerce stream, but we do have students that have gone science, again with the IB diploma. we don't require any higher level or standard level courses. Okay, so we will actually screen 2 to 3 years of your transcripts, including your essays, your letter of recommendation, your motivation, and the admissions committee will make their offer. Typically, it's an unconditional offer, so we're basing our judgment on your predicted grades at that point in time. So in terms of deadlines, I mentioned that we're rolling. Early decision will open in October, and for those that need a visa, your last chance to apply will be in that May period in stage 8. All these stages offer equal opportunity, okay? But do note the earlier you apply, the earlier you need to commit to the university financially. So work out what your strategy will be, whether we're first choice, whether you're waiting for finances, whether you're waiting for certain documents from high school. Again, the application guide will state all of the important dates that you will need to note. Scholarships, they are automatically considered, so no extra requirements of essays, but do note they are merit-based, not financial needs-based. There is a tuition reduction available, roughly it's 30, 60 or 90%. Those that are taking the IB diploma have a score equivalent. So if you get 32 points or higher, excluding bonus points, we guarantee a minimum of roughly a 30% discount on the tuition, which is guaranteed for 2 years. Those that miss out on that, we give a brand new MacBook Air. So that is the minimum that you would get from us. They can be combined with the International Housing Scholarship, which is the rent reduction. And then post-entrance, we have opportunities with local governments, institutions, JASO, which we have a considerate number each year from them as well. So I've put some contact information here. Our email address, intl@adm.nucba.ac.jp. You can follow us on Instagram. I've also put our Linktree QR code there. You can find some important links, including our mailing list. So if you want to sign up to get quite important email updates from us, just follow that link as well. Okay, so thank you very much for listening. I'm happy to answer any questions that I can.
Thank you, Professor, for your presentation. Usually, very rarely we get universities which present BBA program, so I'm sure it's very valuable for the students. Let's look into the Q&A portal. Most of the questions were answered by the panelists. So after student graduates, so is there any, like, can he stay for some more time and do job search? Like, can he participate in job hunting? Is it possible?
Yeah, so we apply for the student visa if that's what they require. Immigration will determine how long that is. It's usually 2 years, and then the student reapplies. If a student is unsuccessful in finding employment within the 4 years, they can apply for an extension, which is 6 months. And then they can apply for a further 6 months after that, again, if they're unsuccessful.
Okay. Thank you, Professor. And also, is there any Japanese language support provided from the university?
Yeah, so within the curriculum, we start with the beginner courses. But if students have maybe studied independently, we will do a test before they arrive, and they may be placed in an intermediate or advanced speaking or writing or reading, and then they can follow that up throughout the 4 years on campus.
Okay, thank you. And is it compulsory that a student must learn Japanese language?
No, it is not.
Okay, thank you. And there's another question. So is math required in 12th standard for global BBA program?
It is not required, okay? The curriculum of NUCB is built specifically that, you know, the first year we have a lot of introductory courses, introduction to management, marketing, finance, economics, etc. We also have a class called Introduction to BBA. So we get everyone on the same standards of mathematics and statistics. Obviously, those that haven't studied, they may have to do a little bit more work on campus, but we set no requirements in terms of the high school level, and we do not require the SAT.
Okay. So what is the acceptance rate of the university, Mr. Freddie Mason?
it's not publicly available, and it's always a hard question to answer because we look for a good applicant, which is why we ask for essays, letters of recommendation. But if I take for the past 2 years, it's around 35 to 40%.
Okay, that's nice. Thank you. And usually BBA and MBA programs, they cost a little heftier than the engineering programs. So in that regard, what is a scholarship? Like, how many students get scholarship?
So in terms of scholarship, there's obviously the minimum is the MacBook. So actually everyone gets that, which is considered a scholarship. The International Dormitory Scholarship is also quite high. I think last year was over 80%. And then in terms of a tuition reduction, it's pretty tough. It's quite competitive. I would say less than 20% get that.
Okay. Thank you. I think we can end the Q&A session here because most of them are answered in the portal. So, but still, if you have any links or any details to share with the students, please share them in the chat box. And yeah, thank you for joining us today.
Welcome. Thank you.
So let me share the agenda slide again. So for today, we have almost reached the end of the presentation, but not yet. So we have Ritsumeikan Asia Pacific University. It is one of the top leading international universities in Japan. It is one of the 4 universities to achieve the AACSB accreditation. And the most attractive point of the university is that a student can earn a degree from Japan's leading university with a great chance of scholarship as well. So now I invite Ms. I Yamamoto, the admissions counselor of the university, to provide more details about the university guidelines. And we're also joined by a student from the university to share his student experience as well. So please stay tuned till the end of the webinar.
Thank you, Vaishnavi-san. Hello, everyone. Mera naam Ai hai. This is only Hindi I know. And Garima-san, can you also show up? I have a current student with me, first year student. Garima-san, can you say hi?
Hello, everyone. I'm Garima and I'm a Ritsumeikan Asia Pacific University student.
All right. So I'll make a presentation in 10 minutes, and between I'll ask her the questions. So she will talk about her experiences. And first of all, I just shared the sign up link for all. So if you're hearing the presentations, sharing from Garima, if you are interested in APU, please do sign up from here so that we can follow you up after the session. Right, so I would like you to first share the short movie with you so that you can see the glimpse of APU. Garima-san, if you see the slide okay, the video okay, and sound, hear the sound okay, can you show me like okay mark? Right. So let me start.
Why I chose APU.
Why I chose APU.
Why I chose APU.
Why
I chose APU.
APU is vibrant. The very first time I went on the website as I was trying to go through the college application process, I saw so many colors in terms of dress codes, races, like smiles, and this is exactly what I'm seeing now as I'm standing on campus again.
Now we're living in the age of globalization, so I think that the process of learning different languages and the bilingual process in APU is very beneficial for students. APU incorporate diversity into their curriculum, so we have to go through so many difficult group work sessions which actually improve our leadership and teamwork skills.
I have seen quite a few other universities in Japan, but the reason why I chose APU was because I really liked Beppo, the city. It has a lower living cost, and I really like the very peaceful, natural environment here.
Okay, you saw the movie, okay? I hope so. Okay. All right. So let me share the PowerPoint now. Okay. これで。見えてますか？はい。はい、ありがとうございます。Okay. So as you saw in the movie, APU is Japanese university and in Japan, but international universities, meaning that almost half of all the students are international. You saw in the movie students from Africa, Asian countries. We have students from USA, Australia. So currently 95 countries and regions are represented on campus. And not only students, also faculty members, almost half of all are international faculty members. So I'm gonna talk about why choose APU diversity, just I covered, academic, postgraduate opportunities, and financial consideration. But I want to ask Garima first, why did you choose APU?
Actually, there were many reasons. But to begin with, I was looking for a university where there's a lot of diverse environment, because diversity is a huge exposure, and I needed an environment where I could study international politics and stuff while interacting with people from different backgrounds. And secondly, like we can get this kind of background in big cities as well, right? Tokyo and Osaka. But I specifically wanted to go for Beppu because it's not so metropolitan. You know, metropolitan cities already have like Japanese people who are quite international. So it's not as Japanese as Beppu is, because people here are not so used to, you know, other countries, cultures and everything. So it's like I can stay Indian here while experiencing Japan and while getting my education. So yeah, that's why I went for Ritsumeikan APU.
Thank you very much. I'll talk about where Bep City, where we located later. Thank you, Garima. All right. So talking about the language, we also, almost all courses are offered both in English and Japanese. So you can take regular lectures in English. You don't need to know any Japanese language when you apply to APU. Yeah. So many people don't believe this. So I'm going to say it again. You don't need to know any Japanese language when you apply. After you come to APU, Japanese language are required at least 1.5 years. And if you want to learn other languages like Chinese, Indonesian, Malay, Korean, Spanish, Thai, Vietnamese, you can take those language courses at APU as well. So colleges, what you can learn here at APU, we have 3 colleges. The first one, College of International Management. 4 specializations under this College of International Management: Entrepreneurship and Operations Management, Marketing, Strategic Management and Leadership, Accounting and Finance. So if you want to study business or start up your own business maybe in the future, this college may suit you. The second one, College of Asia Pacific Studies, where you receive the Bachelor of Social Studies. Under this college, 3 specializations: Global Economy, Culture, Society, Media, International Relations. So if you want to learn to recognize and think about various societal issues, this college may suit you. So Garima-san, you are learning under the College of Asia Pacific Studies. So can you tell us what you learned and then your experiences in the classes?
So what I imagined before coming here is that it's going to be a really difficult curriculum and it's going to be very hard or something. But as I came here, it's not difficult. It's more like it's different. So the teaching methods that are implemented in class, etc., they involve a lot of group work. So for example, if the lecturer is explaining some topic, they will not just ask us quiz or questions on it. They will make us discuss it among small groups. So it is difficult, no doubt, but because of these kind of methods, it's also easier to understand, and like more better learning is happening. So I don't have to stress about a lot of exams or lot of quizzes, but I just have to pay attention in the class and I learn better.
Thank you very much. I'm happy that you have that experience exactly we want you to experience in the classes. All right, thank you. The third one, this is very new, open only 2023, College of Sustainability and Tourism. So you can learn sustainability and tourism at the same time. So you can combine these study areas together. Or if you want to focus on more sustainability or tourism, that's also possible. So if you want to revitalize your local community, maybe in India, or event tourism in India after the COVID era, or if you want to work in sustainability area, this college may suit you. So even hearing these stories of the college, maybe it's better for you to experience APU lectures. So we provide regularly MAC lectures online. So next one is coming in October 1st and 2nd and 3rd. You can take lectures from each college online. So you need to register online as well. So again, in the chat box, I sent you the sign up link for APU. Please do sign up there so that you can receive the detailed information for this MAC lecture series as well. Okay. So postgraduate opportunity. 95% of job placement rate in 2021. So language abilities, of course, APU students will have English, Japanese, and also they know their own mother tongue. Global perspectives, cultural intelligence, they will bring for 4 years after for 4 years spending at APU. So many companies like how we educate APU students. So they come to recruit to APU students as well on campus. Just an example, companies where our graduate work, Apple International, Google Japan, United Nations, Human Rights Council, etc. Also lately, some students pursue their academic career. So they will go to University of Oxford, Harvard University, very top university as well. So for Indian students, he is 2017 graduate who is now working in the biggest advertising company in Tokyo. And Anahata, she is also working in Tokyo in Kosei Corporation, one of the biggest cosmetic company in Tokyo. He's Sahil, graduated September 2020, and he worked at the Mitsui Corporation in Delhi right after graduation. Currently works at Apple UAE. So those are just a sample career that you can also pursue. All right, so financial consideration is very important. But before going to that, I'm gonna tell you where we are located. So like Garima said, we are in the Bep city. It's south part of Japan, 1.5-hour flight from Tokyo. And it's not a big city like Osaka, Tokyo, but it's good, small, compact sized city. We still have 2 Starbucks, so don't worry, you can still survive even if you like the cities. Right. And all the international students will be living in AP house. It's a dormitory, 5-10 minutes away from campus. It's very close. And then there also Japanese students live. So you can actually make friends here in this dormitory. And after 1 year, students move to downtown, and then either they live on their own or share the room together. Actually, many students live together, rent a big house, and then share the living cost as well. Garima, do you want to talk about how you like your AP house dormitory experience?
Yeah, sure. So in AP house, we have single type rooms and shared type rooms. Fortunately, I had the shared type room and my roommate was a Japanese person. And the whole experience was very wonderful. Like when you come back from college and you're tired and all your friends are welcoming you, it's lovely. And we also share common spaces like kitchen, etc. So after coming back in the kitchen when we're cooking together, it's a whole new experience. Like I get to eat Japanese food, I get to eat Vietnamese food. I have tried all sorts of dishes, and I have like tried to cook all sorts of dishes with my friends. And also it's really fun. You can do assignments together, homework together, and it definitely improves your Japanese. Having a Japanese roommate definitely helps.
Thank you. And that story makes me hungry now. Okay. So tuition fee, very important. First year, it's around 9,300 US dollars. From the second year onwards, it's around 10,720 US dollars. I think you may notice Japanese universities are very reasonable compared to universities in USA or Australia. We are very generous to international students. Scholarships are very available. APU tuition reduction scholarship, it's up to 100% and valid for 4 years. Nearly 90% of accepted applicants are awarded this scholarship. Garima-san, may I ask how much scholarship you have?
I have a 100% scholarship.
Okay, that's very great. Not very many students have the 100%, but it is possible for you to receive the 100% tuition reduction scholarship. For this year, very special, we have the scholarship for dormitory as well. So basically, if you get this scholarship, your dormitory fee for the first year will be free. So, but we require you to apply earlier. So if you want to apply for the April intake 2023, we need you to apply by September 21st. But I think almost many Indian students apply for September intake. So if that's so, we need you to apply by December 14th. So I will share the link for you to download this slide so you can review this schedule later on. Right, so tips for the scholarship, how to get the scholarship. Here it says all submitted documents, your academic transcripts, English score, extracurricular activities are very important. And also interview performance. You will have to interview with APU staff and professors. What you talk in the interview are also important. Garima-san, since you have the 100% tuition reduction scholarship, what do you think was the tips?
Yeah, just as you said, completely the whole thing, like collect as many documents as possible, like not avoid even language proficiency certificates, or if you have any extracurricular activity certificates, everything. Try to, like, predicted grades and everything. And also for interview, try to be honest and give the answers as transparently as possible. And yeah, I think that's it.
Okay, thank you very much. Preparation is very, very important for the interview, like Garima said. Arigatou gozaimasu. All right. So external scholarship is available. You can apply for that after your enrollment. We also have the exchange programs very active with many different countries. NUCB, the same. You don't need to pay partner universities even if you go to exchange programs. And these are the minimum score for the IELTS or TOEFL scores. And you can also review this review these slides later on if you download the PowerPoints later on. So I don't have much time today. I don't go through the details for the applications process. But then just for you to know, application period for fall intake, September intake 2023, will start in October next month. That's the first period. And the second one will come March 20th. But if you decide to apply to APU, I recommend you to apply earlier, simply because we have more availability for the scholarship. Right, so like I said, we have 20 minutes only today. I couldn't talk much, so we have some webinars regularly, how to apply to APU on September 28th, introduction to APU, after APU graduated, now what? So you're very much welcome to join these webinars and know more APU. So if you can sign up the link I shared, we can also send you this information as well. We have 3 great representatives in India. So if you are residing in Central, West, and South India, please contact Miss Ishana and Miss Pallavi. And if you're resident in North and East India, Miss Deputy Singh will assist you. I will share in the chat box the link for this slide and then this contact as well. So please do copy and paste before you leave the session. Garima-san, maybe you can have a short comments to the audience for hearing this session.
So I was here to just share my experience. I'm just a first semester student, but so far it's been really nice. It's been way better than what I expected. Although I have been preparing to apply for this university for almost a year, I never thought that it's going to be this nice, the experience that I'm getting here, the exposure that I'm getting here, the kind of extracurricular activities and the lifestyle, everything. And the biggest deal for me is that I'm doing most of it on my own, since I have a tuition reduction scholarship and then other scholarships too. It's very manageable for me. And so I'm really grateful and happy for this experience.
Happy to hear that. Thank you very much. Okay, Vaishnavi-san, I think we can end here and receive the questions.
Yes, thank you for an incredible presentation and an interactive session. So it was very enjoyable. And let's look into the Q&A portals. There are no open questions, but I can pick up a few questions. So maybe I'll ask Garima-san. So Garima, how do you manage your food in the either university or the dormitory? So
for food, on the campus, we have a cafeteria where we get really cheap food, and there they have different sections. Like there's a halal section for Muslims, and there's also veg food available there. So when I used to live in the dormitory, that was my go-to place usually. But if I decide to cook myself, I usually get like chicken or eggs from here. But for vegetarian diet, I just got a lot of pulses from back home here. And basically, I got a lot of stuff from India, and here I'm just experimenting stuff. There's no particular diet that I'm following.
yes, okay, great, thank you. I think it makes it cooking is one of the life skills, so everyone has that, so we can get used to it. Thank you. And I have one question for you, Miss Yamamoto. So once if a student fails in the scholarship, so can they try it again in the next year?
So for the scholarship, so next year they can apply.
Okay.
Again, yes, they can try again.
Okay, great, thank you. So are students eligible to do part-time after receiving the scholarship?
Oh, great question, Karima-san.
Yes, definitely. And not just that, you're also eligible to get other scholarships. So currently I have 2 scholarships, and I'm also working 2 part-time jobs, and university has no issue with that.
Okay.
What do you do for the part-time job?
I'm a waitress. I'm a waitress in barbecue restaurants.
Oh, wow. Then you must know, you must already have like good Japanese language skills.
So Japanese people are really kind.
Yeah, I would say like after 1 year of the Japanese language learning, most of the international students can work in the downtown, like restaurants and hotels. Okay. And we recommend them to experience that part-time job, not because of the money, but the language skill. Yeah, so it's like a paid internship you can take.
Yes, that's right. Thank you. So mentioning about internships, so are there internship opportunities for the students?
Yeah, so APU Career Office can also introduce the internship opportunity, but actually many students find the internship opportunity on their own, because like many Indian students or the Sri Lankan students, for example, they have like seniors, alumni can introduce their internship places.
Okay.
So this alumni network is very strong, I would say, at APU.
Yes, that's right. Thank you. Thank you very much for being present here, both Ms. Yamamoto-san and Garima. It was wonderful talking to you, and I'm sure students got a lot more exposure about a student life and also the application procedures. Thank you again. So we have reached the end of today's webinar. So I thank all the panelists for taking your time and joining us in today's webinar and introducing the universities and various admission procedures. Though it was a lengthy session, it was very diverse because today we have covered graduate programs, undergraduate programs, engineering and business programs as well. So please feel free to reach out to these universities if you are interested to join them. And Ms. Khushi has been actively posting the links in the chat box as well. So for more information on universities and scheduled webinars, you can also write to the University of Tokyo India office and scan this QR code for the upcoming webinars. So, and with this, I conclude today's webinar. So have a relaxed evening and thank you once again for joining us.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.